program, New Dawn, right on OGTV, the People's Daily. Now, despite being favorites, despite topping the attack chart, and of course, despite going unbeaten, really, in the tournament, AFCON2025, the Super Eagles eventually lost 4-2 on penalties to host Morocco after a 0-0 draw in that very, very tense and hot semi-final match on Wednesday night. We are going to be looking at, yes, the intrigues before, during, and of course after the game. And where should Nigeria be going from here? Really, is all hope lost? Don't forget that the Super Eagles still have a third place match. I think that will be held on Saturday or thereabouts against another very strong team, Egypt. You know, so all of these we are going to be looking at in the next couple of minutes on the program today, and we have two people who are going to be doing justice to that topic for us this morning. I begin with Mr. Abayomi Babalola, a football enthusiast. It's a pleasure having you.
Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, my dear.
Good morning, Ma.
And so nice being here.
Yes, it's nice having you too. And to complete the team is joining us from Morocco. Of course, we witnessed it live and direct. All of those drama really on Wednesday night is Babatunde Delu, Senior Special Advisor to Ogun State Governor on Youth Development, joining us via Zoom live from Morocco. Babatunde Delu, good morning. It's a pleasure having you. Hello.
Mr. Good morning to you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. I'm not here alone. Doing solo wise here.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome all our guests. And see, I know that all of you, you're professionals in this field. I'm just an amateur amongst the four of you. But I'm going to start my question this way. I want Mr. Delu to go first. Maybe you just tell us the performance of the Super Eagles so far, not talking about the semi-final alone. Mr. Delu, that question is for you.
Okay. Yeah, so very correct. Now, so to say, we are passionate football lovers, people. And I'm sure you have two things that you're also passionate about.
I'm passionate about the country.
And the Super Eagles, so far has done us really proud. It's football we've seen in quite winning all their matches up to the even not considering the semi-final. I would say they've gone beyond expectations, but they really beyond what we expected of them. They got up during World Cup qualified. In other words, we're not really either with our hopes. We are 50-50 the Super Eagles, but then the coach made some practical change to the team and throughout the blazing in the rounders and the quarterfinals. They did very well. The final, if you have been at the stadium, it was a very tense match. The attendance was, I think, 1,000, and I'm sure it was 62,750 something. The Nigerians, they were just before 58 or so, 60 something thousand. So the boys, the pressure was there. Also on the group, and the boys are giving their all, and I'm sure they'll also play the best football so far.
Okay, let me come to the studio. Like the topic of the day, AFCON heartbreak for Nigeria. Is this really an outbreak?
Well, let me say that for many Nigerians, we will see it as a heartbreak.
Why?
But for me personally, it isn't. Because it's like it's not that I am a pessimist, but activities leading to the AFCON for us, I wasn't so comfortable with what I saw prior the commencement of the competition. I can recollect that when we were playing the last round of our World Cup qualifier, which we were ousted out, we had issue of non-payment of allowance and this and that. And when we settled that, unfortunately, we went for the match and we lost out. And the coach gathered his boys and rallied them, and they were able to go for AFCON. They went into that competition. People were not expecting much, because when we suffered the heartbreak of the World Cup qualifier, so many people had written off the Super Eagles, that the team is not doing well and the likes. Though we have some individuals which we were thinking that they will excel, and which they did. Osimhen excelled, Admola Lukman was wonderful, Alex Iwobi was wonderful as well. But then, you see, there is this thing I call putting paper over cracks. We've had very deep issues to settle with at home before going for this competition.
Like?
I want to say that I'm giving it to the coach, Eric Chell. He has done a very good job, which we have tried some of our own indigenous coaches in the past, and then we also where they got us to. But then, let's come back home. The competition is over for Nigeria. Definitely we'll be playing the third place match tomorrow, and I hope we'll at least bring back the bronze medal. At least we'll be on the podium, and then we hold the record of being the highest holder of the bronze medal.
King of bronze.
King of bronze. Well, if we can't win the gold for now, at least we have our name. Yes. We started with some teams, and they never got to that level. But when we come back home, let's sit down. What is happening with our sports development? For over 200 million people, is this the best crop of players we can get? Now, before we get to the national team, let's look at our domestic league. What are we doing? I was discussing with somebody yesterday, and it was so embarrassing that the last time Nigeria had a referee in AFCON was 20 years ago. That was in 2006.
Why?
Because CAF and FIFA feel that our referees are not good enough.
Wow.
And
Nigerian referees.
Yes, Nigerian referees. And the Morocco match we played, some people were saying that the referee, the officiating was bad. But he who must go to equity will have to go with clean hands. How good are we with our own officials here? Then we look at our league. Africa is playing this domestic Nations Cup for players that are based in the continent. When was the last time Nigeria put up a very good performance? And if we have these domestic players, they are good enough, they are excelling. How many have we been able to move into the national team to join with their foreign counterparts? These are things I feel we should look at. And then this idea of the last World Cup qualifier we had, we prosecuted that qualifiers with like 3 or 4 coaches. If the stability is not there, it will show on the team. So for now, let me just rest on that. Maybe
definitely we'll still come back to where and direction really that we should be going after this outing. So that we can have a formidable team. We can bring back our glory days, in not just football, sports as a whole. Let me come to you, Chief Delu, Babatunde Delu. Now, tell us what the atmosphere was really like before the game, during the game. I'm talking about the semi-finals match, before the game, during the game, and even after the game. Really, we understood. I mean, even before that game, that the Arabs really, they are very, very desperate, when it comes to matches like this, particularly at that level, So tell us what it is, what it was like, really. I mean, we were told that it was going to be a hostile, atmosphere for the players. The players wouldn't be playing against just 11
on the field.
They'll be playing against a hostile fan. Officiating will be very hostile, and the rest of them, and even supporters will even find it hard to even get into the stadium. What paints the picture for us, really, for us to have an understanding?
Okay, it's actually a really smart thing. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually a good thing that you said, but true. And 100% to say with you, the have been super stable. They are such from all what we've experienced. But even prior to now, I was there for the playoffs, Denver, and we fit it on. I don't know, but they love Nigerians. And I'm saying this, ask anybody, they love Nigerians. Between Nigeria and all they were saying was we were going to defeat the fans. And they didn't mind. You feel like, at least if they do so, they didn't mind. They supported us the match against Algeria. Outnumbered us at the stadium because they are unity to Morocco. So that they outnumbered us, but the Moroccans and us as they've done wonderfully well. Now on the football angle of everything, so they say, it's at the luck, although we have the luck of the had to play the host in the semi-final stages is a different ball game. Hello?
Yes, continue.
I think we lost signals from Morocco there. Of course, he's going to join us in the course of the conversation, definitely. But let us take a look at it. Quite a number of cries, hues and cries have actually come out, after that match. People have said the officiating was really against the boys. Really, I mean, particularly those who have actually been watching football for a very long time.
Dominic, I would have loved him to even talk about the game itself before we moved to the official. That was the question I would have asked them.
Even we take pictures and having a nice time together.
Okay, so we lost you earlier on, but thank God you are back, really. But again, let's take a look at it. The officiating. Tell us about the officiating, really. Tell us about the officiating. Some people have said
the stands. So what we saw in the stands, we felt, as fans, there's no way we'll be 100% comfortable with what the referee is doing. Maybe he thought he was doing his own job, but there are parts of it that we felt were dodgy. But the referee is human, and they just leave it at human error. I don't think it was something that was benefited or planned.
Okay, before we come back to the studio, let me please stay with you with this one. So, looking at the game, would you say that Nigeria, at what point, I mean really, because we played and then after 20 minutes it was still draw, was there a time in the game that you got scared that if Nigeria had probably scored a goal and then probably the game had ended in favor of Nigeria, even 1-0, you guys would have been in soup, really, because you were outnumbered by supporters.
Like I said earlier, I don't know whether you missed that. There was no time we felt uncomfortable.
Okay.
Even up to now. I'm telling you, I go out there and I go to the mall, I go to different places. I think it was only once or twice that I have to pay for transport fare. The rest of the Nigerians, they want us to come into the car and they take us there for free. Taxis and regular citizens. So our relationship, I don't know about other countries, but I'm sure that's the way they also relate to other countries. Maybe guys from Congo, Senegal, Cameroon, that francophone countries. And then we all try to communicate. It's been a lovely experience. The Moroccans, like I said, have been super good hosts. They treated us well, and treated us nicely, and I was never scared that there was going to be any violence in the stands or even outside the stadium. And then the security level was also super. Because they're like the go-to hosts now for African competitions, and I'm sure they're trying to avoid any form of untoward behavior from the fans. And everybody understands this. It's really a cool country, and they're a sport-loving nation, and they really treated us very well.
Okay, let me ask you this before we come to the studio. Like Dominic has said, So I was asking the question earlier when we lost our connection with you that the game itself, that is Nigeria-Morocco, what can you say about that game, the game as a whole?
I think it was 10 shots. So the match was set at 9 p.m. We had to leave our hotel, which is just like 45 minutes away from the stadium, at 2 p.m. It was it coincided with the public holiday, so we knew that the locals were going to flood the stadium. It coincided with the public holiday here. So we were going to flood the stadium. So we left our hotel, got to the stadium around 3 o'clock to try to get to our seats early. And the atmosphere was electric. It's a beautiful stadium, that was electric. Imagine 6,000 people shouting it. They never booed us. Even when our national anthem was being sung, they were clapping for us throughout the national anthem. You can go check the video. They were clapping for our national anthem throughout. Unlike other nations, when they start booing, when they are playing your national anthem, they were clapping for us throughout, and we reciprocated the same way. They were singing our own songs in the stadium. They were playing Nigeria hip-hop songs right in the stadium. We are playing against them, and they are playing during half-time, before the game, and even after, to also give us that atmosphere. So, it was really interesting. And then the game itself, the football itself, the boys really, I think our boys, for the first few minutes, maybe a little bit gypsy because of the atmosphere and all of the that they were on. Some of them are really young players in their head. We should also give them that. But they got into the game as the game went on. And then towards the end, if you see, we dominated like 15 minutes of the game and even the extra time. We dominated and we could have scored 1 or 2 goals. But as it is, it got to come out, which is a game of luck, and we lost. So we do what the next game, just like life. You do some, you do some. But if football, you draw some.
So now, you say that Nigerians, were they intimidated with the crowd or with the presence of the Moroccans? Because you said that the stadium was filled to the brim, and when you have a lot of supporters, it tends to cheer you up and give you morale. Maybe because Nigerians were not much. Can you say that affects our team?
I got that, yes, we have done that, but the boys could feel the support from the few of us that were in the stadium. They could hear the drums, they could hear the trumpets, and they did the difference. They did the difference because these are people playing trumpets and playing the drums, while the Moroccans, 50,000 plus, were chanting their own football chants. The word here, maybe, I don't think it was throughout the whole 90 minutes. The first 10, 15 minutes, which is normal. Is normal with some people don't even want to play particular stadium. Mr. Yomi is a Man U fan, and he knows that when his team, Man U come to Anfield, his players are always victory. You know that, so it happens everywhere in football. It's normal. But then the boys did their best, and practically, I think the coach got it right. Because you have to be, very careful when you're playing. Also, you don't open up the game because they have the game behind their tail, and they are motivated. They are motivated. They are playing. They are playing the semi-finals. They want to get to the final. So the boys did their best, and tactically, I think the coach got it right even on that day. Because he made 1 or 2 tricks. Because Ilidi was absent, so we have to bring Onyedika into that role, and we did what we had to do on the day. It will have been a different if we were playing another team. I'm sure we will have played differently and we'll have won the game comfortably.
I don't know whether Mr. Babalola actually agrees with Delu on that. I mean, concerning the technicalities. I mean, because going into that match, Nigeria was having the strongest, and most dangerous attacking force really in that tournament and even in the entire Africa. But what we saw on the gameplay, we saw a very blunt attack. Really, only one shot on target for almost 60-70 minutes. Really,
42 hours game.
42 hours game.
We had only one shot on target.
So does that not beg a moral, question on the capacity, the competence of the technical crew?
See, when you are playing games like this, you look at your opposition. Morocco is not a small fry. and we had the unfortunate luxury of playing against the host. They rarely concede. I think in this tournament, prior to that match, they conceded just once.
Imagine.
In 5 or 6 games, they conceded only once, and they had their stars. One of them, Brian Diaz from Real Madrid. You can't be playing for Real Madrid and you think it's a small opposition. They had a very good goalkeeper in Yasin Bonu, a very good goalkeeper. So if we were unable to score, and they too, as good as we feel they were before that game, they were unable to score, it means it evened out. But then, I was thinking maybe the coach could have made some tactical switch earlier, maybe before the start of the extra time, when it's as if everything Osimhen and Akko Adams had been countered. Probably we'll do some tweaking, but then you make use of the materials you have. I cannot expect Richel to bring in a Lionel Messi when we don't have it. The likes of Moses Simon and Chukwueze that we have, and those are the players who will make use of.
And do you think those guys would have made any difference really if he had brought them in, really? Because we also saw the Chukwueze really come to take a penalty. He was not showing that much of confidence.
I don't want to get to that penalty aspect, because clearly everybody saw that Chukwueze was probably not in a nice frame of mind, not in a competitive frame of mind. He was too relaxed with that kick. And even the one Bruno took, the keeper had moved to a particular spot, and that spot was where he kicked that ball. So you look at this thing, like Delu said, when it comes to penalty, it's a game of luck. Anybody can misplace kicks and the like. But then, I want to look at this. If Osimhen is not firing, who else do we have? We have a Paul Onuachu on the bench. Now, if you are bringing in a Paul Onuachu, you need in-swingers from your flank. Do we have those materials? Because it's a combination of these qualities. So if you have one player with a particular quality and the supply line is not there, you feel that the player is not good enough. So these are some of the things that we have to look back. I know that we have a technical committee in place. These are the things that our technical committee should sit down and look at. That if we have plan A, and the plan A after 45 minutes, after 60 minutes is not working, what do we do? How do we move to plan B? If our opposition have had solutions to our plan A and B, do we have players that are good enough to take up the initiative and change the dictates of the game? These are some of the things. And if you look out there, in almost all the major 5 leagues we have in Europe today, you have Nigerians that are excelling. You have players that go by the name of being a Nigerian. Who is scouting for us? And like I said earlier, our domestic league too, who are we working on? Which player are we looking at that can move into that national team and be of quality that we expect?
Okay, you said something earlier that you don't want to talk about Chukwueze, but you know that people were talking about it. They were like being disappointed about his performance. And maybe there are insinuations that he was not happy that he was not in the game from the start. What do you have to say?
If he had scored his penalty and Bruno had scored his, and if we had won that penalty shootout, at the end of the day, if we had played Senegal in the final and we have won the trophy, they will not say, Chukwueze, you are not part of the team. It's for the whole team. He has played. In our last 6 games, he has played like 4 or 5, if not all the games.
Okay.
But we have 1 or 2 players who have not tasted action at all. They are still part of the team. And by my understanding, when they are training, you need your first 11 to train against your reserve. If the reserve is not good enough, there will be problem for the first 11. So every player has his or her own role to play.
Okay.
So if you are on the bench for a particular game, that does not mean the coach does not trust you.
Okay.
For a particular game, you have some set of players that you must use. I can recollect our last group game when we have already qualified. We have already had 6 points, and the last group game, I think Chukwueze started, and he played very well. Now, if we had not used the people who did not play the first 2 games, if we have used our regular first 11, and 2 or 3 of the key players had got injured, what would we have been saying today? We would have been blaming the coach that when you have already qualified, why did you use your first 11 when you have some other players that can come in? So every player, either you are playing or not, once you are part of the squad, you have a role. In fact, you see some teams that the role of some players will be just to motivate others.
Okay.
And it's also all about combination, as you rightly said earlier on. You need so person for a particular, to suit a particular player.
Okay, but talking about...
Do you think we missed Ndidi really? I mean, Ndidi got knocked off, got injured, and it couldn't make it.
The Ndidi we were looking at before the competition started, probably we will say we won't miss him. But since the competition started, the first 3-4 games that Ndidi played for us, you definitely miss him. And the way he controls the game, the way he marshals that midfield, you see, we were seeing a lot of beautiful play from Alex Iwobi, because he had 2 players behind him, which are Ndidi and Onyedika. No, not Onyedika, the other midfielder. And they were covering up flank. These 2 players were covering up very well for Alex Iwobi. So Alex Iwobi had the freedom of moving and expressing himself because you have somebody behind you and you are comfortable, you can go forward and you believe that you are covered. So I am not saying that the Onyedika that came in for him did not play very well, but then as old as Lionel Messi is, if he's not playing for Argentina, everybody will see that he's not playing. As old as Cristiano Ronaldo is, even if Cristiano Ronaldo did not get 4 or 5 chances, you believe that once he gets one, there's every likelihood he's going to bury it. So you miss players like that. We miss Ndidi. But then, at his age, who are we prepping to take over from him in that role? We should be looking at that by now.
Okay, let's talk about, I'm coming to you, Mr. Delu. Let's talk about the performance of the Super Eagles so far and in other tournaments. How does Nigeria's performance in this tournament impact the chances of qualifying for future international competitions?
Well, like they all have agreed, the Super Eagles, even historically, are a tournament team. They seem to get better as tournaments progress until maybe they get the final or something happens, maybe like it did on Wednesday. One of the advantages the Super Eagles had was the fact that we played the playoffs. So we played 2 matches and then we played a friendly against Egypt before the tournament started. So we had like 3 matches under our belt where the team got to know each other more. Another thing, before I answer your question directly, another thing was that we should also understand, like we talked about team dynamics, is that we are missing like 2 parts of ADD who was in the tournament. Ola did not make the tournament, Benjamin Frederick also did not make the tournament. And the 2 of them were very key to the setup of the Super Eagles. So the coach must have had to tweak a lot of things to even play the kind of football the kind of super football that we played in this tournament. And leading up to the qualifiers for the Nations Cup is going to start in March, and then we're going to be talking about the next Nations Cup, which is now will now be every 4 years, and then we're talking about the next World Cup. Those are the 2 tournaments ahead of us. Some of the players that we see now might not even feature in those 2 tournaments, some because of age and maybe form, and then we are sure that new players will come through. the ranks from the other 17 or 20s, and even new discoveries from the local league and even from the international space, international clubs and all that. So Nigeria is positioned in a very good state right now, and I think from my own perspective, in the next 4, 5, 6 years, we're going to see in the new Super Eagles, and with the efforts of the National Sports Commission and the NFF in realigning our football and in such a way that we can have a conveyor belt of production of players right from the local league, from the under 16, under 17, under 18 to the under 23 and then the Super Eagles. They are pretty much secured for the next couple of years. And in football, you know, it's very practical. A team rises and then you have a down period. But even if you have a down period, it hasn't been that long. Some leaders have been off the grid for 10, 20 years. Ours has been very short, maybe 3, 4, 5 years. And we're already back up there. So we can say that by the next Nations Cup, by next World Cup, the Super Eagles will make us proud the way they've always done.
Okay, let's talk about the implications for the coach, implication of this load for Coach Eric Tell and in the futures with the Super Eagles.
Yeah, well, the decision is simple. He had KPIs when he was chief of man when he was employed. One was to try and qualify for the World Cup from a very terrible position. We had lost a couple of points, plenty points from our first 4, 5 matches. And he tried his best. We got to the playoffs, and then we lost that penalties. And then his other KPI was also to get us to the semi-final of the Nations Cup, which he did. So I think based on those 2 points, he has succeeded. I think from the grapevine there are discussions of an extension of this contract, and we are already having offers from different countries. So we want to double his pay. So what does say from what Nigeria is paying him? So you can see that if he's not doing well, or if people don't rate him highly enough, I don't think anybody will be scouting him and trying to pry him away from Nigeria. So the Nigeria Football Federation and the Sports Commission will be able to do when it comes to that. And then Coach Eric is focused. He loves Nigeria, and he has lots of Nigerian friends, and he wants to be with Nigeria, and he wants to take Nigeria football to the next level.
Two things with you, really. Going by our topic, AFCON Heartbreak for Nigeria, I want to know really, amongst you, the fans and the supporters right there in Morocco, that loss at the semi-final match, I mean, is it really a heartbreak really for you guys? And then we have the third place game coming up on Saturday, really, against another strong side, Egypt, really. Are you guys optimistic, really? And then what feeling are you getting from the camp of the Super Eagles? Are they optimistic? Is the spirit high, really? Don't forget that the Super Eagles will be prosecuting that game without Calvin Bassey, a very strong force. As a matter of fact, some persons have said it was because Calvin Bassey, was that rock at the defense. That was why, we were able to manage to get to the penalty kick, really. And then indeed, we also not be back by that time, when we were playing Egypt. So, is the team really spirited to prosecute that game? What are you getting? What's the feeling like in the camp there?
Okay, these guys are professionals. They play to win all the time. That is what they do. That is their job. 2, they are Nigerians, and they represent over 240 million dreams, aspirations, passion for the game of football and for sports. So they are going to go out there to win. Whether it's a third place match, whether it's a friendly, whether it's a good stage match, that is what the Super Eagles do. The Super Eagles go out to win. Whatever happens on the day is something else, but that is, they are motivated. Supporter of Calvin Bassey for me is a monster. I call him incredible love. He's a monster, and I love his passion, the same way as Osimhen, and all the other guys. It's only if you don't do guys one-on-one, and if you relate with them, they never want to lose. So football is one better game, he knows. sometimes in your favor, sometimes not in your favor. And on the day, different things, also just have the bounce of the ball. One small thing and, it's against you. And if everything goes on well for you, all well and good. The guys want to win. They've always wanted to win this championship. And so that's at the beginning. For all the fans that are here, yes, we're disappointed, but we are happy with the boys. We're disappointed with the results, but we are happy with the boys. And we all want us to win the semi-final. They want us to win the semi-final and to bring the cup back home. But as we say, it is what it is.
Now, where should we be going from here? Coming to you, Mr. Abubala, where should we be going from here as a country, really? What should we be doing? Earlier on, we were talking about the fact that no Nigerian referee really made it to the tournament. And then, don't forget, we also have our club side here. I mean, most of the guys who made it to the team are applying their trade in Europe. So where do we go from here? What groundwork should we be doing, to ensure that, in the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now, we have a formidable team?
Well, Dominic, before I answer that question, let me quickly say this, because some weeks back, or a couple of months back, when one of our players was misbehaving, on one of your sports show, I called in and I was one of the people that blamed that particular player. And in this tournament, he has done wonderfully well to this extent.
Which player?
And that player is Stanley Nwabali.
Okay.
Because many Nigerians blamed him before now, and we never had the confidence in him. He did his part in this tournament. In fact, the penalty shootout, he was able to do his part, made a couple of saves. And then when you are not doing fine, we should be able to tell you. And when you are doing fine, we should be able to tell you. I think Stanley Nwabali is one of the players that stand out for us in this tournament. Having said that, she said, where do we go from here? We have to go back. Like Belu said, the conveyor belt, how effective, how efficient and how effective is the conveyor belt now? We have to look at it. Some of these players, Iwobi is in his 30s, if I'm right. Ndidi is in his 30s, if I'm right. I don't know. Nwabali should be in his 30s as well. But we still have a very young team. I was amazed when I heard that Shemi Ajayi is around 26 or thereabouts. And if we have the partnership of Shemi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey there, we have Olaino coming back, we have Frederick coming back, and all these players at their age, at their 20s, an average age of like 25, 27, we have a very good future. But then, before you can assemble this crop of players, what about the people that are behind the scenes? There is no year we will be having election or selection into the NFF that will not have this controversy or that controversy. If the administrative aspect is not settled, definitely it will rub off on the technical aspect. These are some of the things I expect us to look at. And where do we start from? We start from our domestic league. That league, I don't like to call it local league, because in our parlance out there, you know what you know how you look at something you call local, but it is our domestic league. What are we doing about our domestic league? The players' welfare, the movement of teams from one venue to another. How are we taking care of these players? If these players get to have one funny offer from just anywhere outside this country, what will motivate them not to run away? And by the time they leave for these countries, don't be surprised in 2-3 years time they will naturalize to those countries, and it means we have lost that talent. But how do we take care of these our domestic league players at home here? Then the game itself, how are we handling this game? Our officials, you look, I follow the domestic league. I follow it honestly, and I look at some calls, I look at some officiating, and I don't blame CAF or FIFA for looking away from us from this major tournament. These are some of the things that we have to look at. Somebody was talking about the politics of the game, that when Morocco had a particular match, they were given an Egyptian official and they protested and the official was changed. Though CAF gave us another reason for changing that particular official, but it is part of the game. The politics of the game will have to be played by those who really know about it. And I'm happy the handlers of our sports authority at the moment, they know how to play that game. But then, beyond that, the administrators at this local level, our league, the administrators, the glass house itself, we have to put it in order. Then who are the people scouting for us? Then who are the people in charge of our technical? What are they doing? What are the inputs they are giving to the coach? And these are some of the things that we have to look at. See, many of us will look at these foreign leagues and we prefer watching these foreign leagues to ours. It is not that they give us money from that. It is because we found that they are well organized. This is something we can do as well. Nigerians go out there and they excel. So we can do it here at home. We have what it takes. We have the personnel. We have the resources. It is now left for us to sit down and organize ourselves and give our country the best of service.
Okay, going by all you've mentioned now, what can you say is the prospects for Nigeria's football team in the future?
We have very good prospects. See, there was a time the La Liga, the body handling La Liga, came to Nigeria and they set up an outfit, because the kind of talent they get from here in Africa today, I can say it, maybe South Africa or Egypt will come a bit close. In Africa today, Nigeria is can boast of being the largest exporter of players, and the countries like Brazil and Argentina, these are the things they excel on. And when their players are going out, they have a watertight agreement in place that will suit the player, that will suit the country, the national team. Do we have this kind of arrangement? So we have the prospect. How do we handle it? There is difference between you having a potential and then making good use of and harness the potential. We have very
let's
good
talk about the third place that is coming tomorrow. Mr. Delu, I'm coming to you. The third place we are going to play tomorrow, and you know, we have been saying it that we can be king of bronze if we cannot carry the cup. Well, do you see that happening tomorrow? Do you see the Super Eagles winning the third place?
Definitely, like I said some moments earlier, is that the Super Eagles always tend to win every single match. So Saturday will be no different. They are going to try to win, and I see us defeating the Egyptians. They are not. I don't think they are as defeated as we are. Because doing that semi-final in the manner that we did is also a motivating factor for the boys and also for the nation. And definitely, I see Nigeria defeating Egypt tomorrow. We'll probably present a stronger squad, because most times most coaches tend to use fringe players for the third place. But I think it's going to be a high-end league for us, for the Super Eagles. I think any player that we put on the field tomorrow will be too hot to handle for the Egyptians. We will defeat them. And also, like I said before, the Moroccans are going to support us. I can give you that. They don't, when it comes, they support us above their Arabian or their brothers. It is guaranteed.
Okay, let's talk about the changes you think needs to be made to the teams, as in the team's strategy and the lineup to improve their performance tomorrow. Do you think that some changes should be made?
Well, tactically, I don't, the coach knows what to do. But when it comes to terms of personnel, Calvin is not going to be there. EDD might not play. And then I don't know whether Osimhen is going to be fully fit, because they have to come off then the end of the game against Morocco. Well, so I think we are the only three major areas of concern. Then Louis Simon might start the game. I think Louis Simon might start the game. Louis Simon, Ogu, one or two other people might start the game ahead of the guys that are regulars, not that they are better than the ones that are on the bench. I think that would just be it. But practically, I think we're going to stick with the same formation, so it should just be a change of personnel.
All right, do you agree with him?
Yes, I agree with him because in the tournament so far, the best three teams I will always rate has always been Morocco, Senegal, and Nigeria. That Egyptian team, the way they played their semi-final match, they only played in the last 5 or 10 minutes when the Senegalese have scored, and they can't play like that against Nigeria and we will not beat them. And this, but if the coach decides to use some of these spring players, they too want to lay claims to the shirt that we deserve to be the regular.
Do you know that the Pharaohs of Egypt, so they are not
they have not been spectacular in this tournament. For me, they have not. Egypt has not been spectacular.
So you want to judge them by their performance so far?
By their performance so far, that you are as good as your last game. We both lost our last game, but then on the balance of play, you look at it and you see that Nigeria should get over them on
tomorrow.
Yes,
so we should be hopeful.
I expect us to beat Egypt. In fact, I don't expect us to win with a slim margin. I am telling you.
Like 10-0.
10-0 because we are not playing basketball.
Because see, as I am here, I don't really love football like that, but I still want Nigeria to come home with something.
That's patriotism.
When we win, it will rub off on those who are not football followers.
It's not my fault. I just hate the tension. I just hate the tension that comes with it,
Not
as much that comes with watching football, because I had a bitter experience that makes that happen.
Okay.
It was in my presence that a father figure died just because of football. That's why I don't really want to
understand it. I think they wanted to say something.
Okay, Mr. Daly, you have something to say.
Okay, I'm sorry for your experience, but then you should understand how. I think we don't understand how big football is in Nigeria and how big it can be. Not just football, but sports generally. And it's part of the things that the Sports Commission is doing right now, and our government at all levels must begin to see sports as a profit center and not a cost center. Cost center is that all we just do is just give them budget to go and spend. We must transit from that position to seeing sports as a revenue generating venture.
Okay.
For Nigeria, from my own point of view, we have 3 major exports right now. 3 major exports. One in terms of actual, that is our petroleum oil. The second might be hip-hop, our Afro hip-hop.
Okay.
The video was at the opening ceremony.
Yes.
That happens to be playing today somewhere in Rabat. And the third is sports, especially football. Some countries spend millions and millions of dollars on PR, on public relations, trying to clean up the image. We don't know what super good our hip-hop guys, the likes of King Daniel, Davido, Burna Boy, and the rest do for us, and our sports guys, our footballers. Every time, and then, if you want to make 250 million Nigerians happy at the same time, just to make one person happy, now you want to make 250 million people happy at the same time, just let the Super Eagles win. Just let the Falcons win. Let the 17 win. Let Nigeria win in gold in athletics. Let us win something here in sports. And you see everybody is happy at the same time. You don't win. How much do you pay for that? You can't quantify it. It's priceless.
That's one of the things I love about football. It brings everyone together. It unites nations. That's it. Okay, Dominic.
Yes, I think time is fast spent. But before we go, let's take your assessment, Delu. Let's take your assessment on the facilities. Really, I'm sure you have gone to stadiums really over there. What's your assessment of what they have put in place for this competition?
It has to wait Morocco as a country in terms of sporting facilities and even all the ancillary facilities, transportation, hotels, and things like that. I would them 8.5 over 10 for this competition. They've done really well. They have we played in 1, 2, 3 or 4 stadiums. We played in Fez, we played in Marrakesh, and then we played in. They only played in 4 stadiums. We played in Rabat. And the next stadium we're going to play is another stadium entirely. In Rabat alone, they have 3 world-class stadiums. The stadium in Marrakesh is old, but it's been refurbished and it's very good for purpose. And the one we played in Fez too is world-class. All the stadiums are world-class. You can't find anything better. You can't fault the arrangement, and then the transportation facilities, hotel facilities, and all security, everything that has really been top-notch. Morocco has really done a good job.
Okay, I would just like to talk just shortly on this. I would like to get your thoughts on Morocco hosting every tournament and award ceremony. Is it not becoming boring?
It's not becoming boring. It's not becoming boring. What they are doing and what they ought to do is motivate other countries to do the same. And Nigeria we have also hosted quite a couple of events. For last year, we hosted 2 events, 2 international athletics events, even more than if we hosted the CAA and some other events. And the next African Schools Games is going to be Nigeria and things like that. So it's not that we are also not. I'm talking about Nigeria now.
Okay.
It's not that we don't have some facilities that can host some of these events.
Okay.
But then what we also have done is motivating other countries that telling them, hey, African countries, we can also do this. You guys just focus on it, and then I think Nigeria is taking a cue. There's nothing wrong in copying the best in class mood and methods, which I'm sure some of our sport administrators that are here have seen and are going to bring back home and then put the model.
All right, Mr. Daly, we have to go. We say thank you for being part of today's show. Thank you for your thoughts and all you've been saying, and also to you, our guest in the studio, Mr. Babalola.
Quickly, let me say that Morocco has said it, let them flaunt it.
Okay.
It's their time, let them flaunt
it. Okay, let them keep flaunting. But we are coming.
We are coming. We are coming.
Of course, we wish the Super Eagles all the best as they go out against the Files.